Jeep leader hit the lineup, Julian Wilson, in yellow for the second time this season. He wants to stay in that colour, and he's going to get things started here on the inside. By his own admission, he's got something to add to his performance. He's been doing well to get himself into the later stages of the heats, and he's going to go all out on this medium-sized ride. Riding fakey for a moment, bringing it back round. And gets a little finish on the inside here, that shallow section. Just picks his moment to dive off very carefully. He has bottomed out here before, face planting on the rocks there. But Julian's going to get this one started off pretty nicely against Wiggolly Dantas.
Watch this. Hopefully get them to slow it down, but beautiful snap, and again, just getting started here early, but boom, the air, and then steers it. And watch the foot. He literally shifts himself to put the fins back into the water and reverse around. So technical, so hard to do, especially with flow, and he did it. And, you know, he maximized the scoring potential of that wave in a big way. Here we go. Take a look at this angle. Everything shifts forward. Both the front foot all the way, moving 2 feet up. And then he's going to use the nose as his fin as he's riding fakie. Beautiful. And all that weight's on that nose, realizing it, and then shifting his back foot back onto the pad, which engages the fins and spins it back around quickly. So cool that he had the knowledge in his head, knowing that that was going to happen as he's going backwards.
Wiggolly have done with the same wave, and it would have been challenging to match the kind of score for the goofy footer. But let's see what unfolds here. More waves coming our way. Day 3 of the event window. We've been blessed with good conditions. The world's best are loving it. Wilson up again. Aggressive first turn. Up into the hook. Keeps that down the line flow. Surfing with a lot of speed. Hammering down the line. Unfortunately, this one's going to stretch out and shut down. But he's looking good, isn't he?
Take a look. I mean, again, one of the best bottom turns in the business, and it all comes from the fact that he compresses so hard. Even out of his maneuvers, he compresses. Style's so nice. You know, arms are always placed right in the right spot as he's coming in and out of maneuvers to keep the flow. See the bottom turn once again. You see how he compresses, where his eyes are looking down the line. He's looking at that spot where he wants to hit it. And at this point, it's a nice steep section, but he has to keep the flow down the line. And he's able to whip the snap and get the turn committed in the lip, but always finishing the move so high in the wave that he's going to get plenty of down the line speed once again by compressing off the bottom.
And the first time he's got to that #1 position and looks so comfortable. Not his first world title race, but the first time he's led from the front. And he's been doing really well to win through in gritty heats, especially over there in Bali, getting all the way to the final, losing out to William Cardosa there. And Julian up again on wave number 3. Plenty of flair, just a 3.9 on that previous wave. But the signs are there for a special kind of performance here on day 3. Wow, amazing floater there, actually getting a bit of air under his board.
That was a full audible. I think that he was looking at that section as an alley-oop opportunity. You can see where he was driving his board, and at the last moment realizing, I didn't have that section that was going to give him the pop. So it was just a pop floater.
And still hasn't put that big number up, and Wiggolly's out the back, well positioned if a good set wave rolls in.
He is, but you can see, if just watching him on a screen, his eyes are looking down the line. He's getting twitchy because he knows that there's scores getting posted. There's points being put on the board by Julian. And he would have been looking back going, wow, look at all that spray. So knowing at some point you got to get moving. And so this is exactly what the strategy of what Julian Wilson wanted to do as that pop floater there to finish. This is going to add to his point total once again. You see, looking at that section, he wanted to do the alley-oop. It's perfect win for it. But then just the last second decides, I'm just going to go for the big float, make sure that I'm going to make it. I think the landing area, too, would have been very steep and on the rocks had he really gone for it. So I think it was a good call to just kind of make sure that he's going to complete another ride.
So far, and the start of this heat is really positive for him. It just looks like he's found another gear, and he looks in good touch this morning. And he asked the question of Wiggolly Dantas, do you want this one? Because if you don't, I'm swinging. Wiggolly says, yes, I'll take it. Thank you very much. Swings into a couple of nice little backhand hooks to get started. Is this the wave that's going to help him get the advantage? Wiggolly waiting a long period of time for this first effort and looking for a solid finish here on the inside. Sticks the float. Pretty clean sequence of maneuvers there.
Did he pick the right diamond? See, both these waves may go into the good range. Again, it's set wave, beautiful first snap. In the backhand, the fire hose, you know, two different style of backhand turns. Kind of similar there. Then you got to showcase that variety somehow on the backhand. But again, nice solid finish.
Achieved exactly what he wanted there by getting Wiggolly into that first wave, and now he'll set up this one. Let's see what he can do with it. Looking to improve on a 5.43. It's a better situation. Nice clean section to deal with there, transitioning beautifully. Huge floater, gets that tail drop. He'll stomp the finishing turn.
Building.
Wonder where Wiggolly's positioned here at the moment.
Say that these are going to be right in the mix with Julian's waves, so it's a very close heat, but advantage to Julian being that he's probably going to build and get maybe the best wave of the heat with this, but not by much. And Wiggolly is going to have to wait it out the back and hope that a solid set wave comes.
Well, here goes Wilson. Needs to get rid of that 5.43. Needs to put some pressure on Wiggolly here. Smooth flow to kick things off. Hammering down the line now. Plenty of speed as he burns off the top once again. Nice float. Needs something more explosive on the finish here. Drifts that tail for a moment. Gets back up onto the section for a floater to finish. Where do you see that number going, Pete?
I see it right there with Wiggolly. I think that this is going to improve for Julian. I thought that before, but I feel confident this one. Similar size to Wiggolly's wave, and just a ton of variety. The carve, the snap, gets in there, another snap, more of a carving snap with the float, but such great flow. Major maneuvers are there. That was jamming right in the lip. Would have loved to see him be a little bit more risky on that final move, but the wave is complete, and I think that he will build on a scoreline.
Julian just hanging back, waiting to see what Wiggolly does. Wiggolly elects to go, looking for a 6.18. Off the bottom, into the top. Plenty of water coming off the rail of his board. Always has great timing. Blast through that second section as well. On his way to a solid finish here. Changing up his approach with that third maneuver, up into the lip again, drifting the tail this time. And
got to pull it off.
Trying to hang on for the finish.
Oh man, that could cost him in a big way. We've seen it throughout this event. I think it's probably, well, we'll see. Let's take a look here again. But I mean, there was some very, very major maneuvers here. I mean, the first snap was nice, and then all this speed here really laid into that maneuver there. Ton of spray out the back, ton of power, ton of speed. Electrified the lip one more time. It just right here had to pull that off. He gets the best wave of the heat. Instead, now we're with the question mark.
Did he get a little casual trying to ride out of this one?
Well, again, that punching of the lip, it leaves you high. And riding out smooth, he falls with the water. That's the explosion, and right there, just needed to be earlier down the face.
Earlier down the face, maybe could have compressed and got low. It just seemed like he wasn't able to absorb the impact of that landing. But as you said, still some really good touches with the lip there. Something standing up out the back here. Less than a minute to go. Wilson, he's going to pull the trigger. The numbers coming through for Dantas. It wasn't enough, but Julian won't know that just yet. So he's trying to get rid of a 5.5 here. Up into the pocket, hasn't had the money turn just yet. Steep section to deal with, slices off the top. Good size set wave for the current world number one. Looking for the big finish down the line, racing. Gonna go on the attack here, climbs up onto the roof. Let's have a look at Wiggolly's last ride though and see what he was able to do on this one. Chasing it for a long period of time here, Pete.
Yeah, and I think that's the one maneuver he does on this wave. So that's not going to even factor in. And Julian Wilson, the Jeep Rankings leader, is still in the event.
Solid game plan from the Brazilian, but just failed to execute on that second ride. If he rides out of that turn, he knocks Julian out of the contest. But the current world number one survives the third round. More big matchups coming your way.